Hello, welcome back to my channel, Andrew Winnipeg Podcast Manenko. I will be reading from the Saturday, February 6th edition, 2021 of the Winnipeg Free Press. All credit and copyright goes to the Winnipeg Free Press. This is Andrew Reads the News. I will be reading an article by Joyanne Persaga. All credit and copyright goes to Joyanne Persaga. You can find her at Joyanne Persaga at freepress.nb.ca or her Twitter at Joyanne_Persaga. City proposes ambitious eco-friendly transit plan. After several years of studying the idea, the City of Winnipeg will soon consider a long-term plan to replace all of Winnipeg Transit diesel buses with a greener fleet. A new proposal calls for the city to make an initial purchase of 16 zero-emission buses, including 8 hydrogen fuel battery electric models and 8 battery electric buses. Transit expects to test those buses for up to 2 years, beginning in 2022, if the proposal receives council approval and secures senior government funding. Transit hopes to replace 100 to 110 diesel buses with zero-emission models by the end of 2027, which is expected to cost $280.4 million, test buses included. The goal is to switch 30% of the diesel fleet to zero-emission buses by 2030 and replace an entire 700-bus fleet by 2047. The year 2047. We do see this as the first phase in fleet replacements as opposed to a technology trial, said Aaron Cook, the project manager for Winnipeg Transit's bus electrification program. The city leased and tested 4 battery electric buses from 2014 to 2018, but Cook said the technology has advanced since then. The buses are now in operation in multiple cities. The issue is, how do we actually integrate these into Winnipeg Transit operations, says Cook. For example, some models require time and electricity to charge, with travel ranges that differ from diesel vehicles, she said. Cook said the test buses will help determine how many of each type of bus the city should order, while the program helps the city meet its goal to combat climate change. Each of these buses is removing about 62 tons of greenhouse gas emissions per year, so it's really a huge advantage, she said. For years, the city has cited the cost of greener buses as a key obstacle to buying them. A public service report notes it would cost $160.6 million to continue replacing buses with new diesel models over the next 7 years, or about $120 million less than the zero-emission proposal. Councillor Matt Allard, Council's Public Works Chairman, said the lengthy timeline for the proposal would help Council ensure the plan makes financial sense for the city. I think a cautious, incremental approach is warranted because we want to make sure we're going to be getting value for money, said Allard. The councillor said it's critical to ensure that more Winnipeggers switch their mode of transportation from individual vehicles to mass public transit to combat climate change, which he believes is even more important than the type of bus they ride on. In terms of greenhouse gases, said Transit, the number one policy is having an efficient transit system that gets people wanting to take the bus, said Allard. The city hopes to secure provincial and federal grants through the Investing Canada Infrastructure Program to support the $280.4 million 7-year portion of the project, which it hopes would reduce the city's cost to 28%, or $78.4 million. After the first 7 years, Winnipeg Transit would also need to create a $211 million zero-emission facility to make room for additional green buses. The city would also seek senior government funding for that project, though details haven't been sorted out, Cook said. Transit will ask Council to approve the proposal within its Winnipeg Transit Master Plan, which it expects to release in March. Thank you very much. Have a great day.